The desert stretched endlessly, shimmering under the sun's relentless glare. 12-year-old Juno Travers kicked a small rock across the cracked soil, her worn-out sneakers crunching the sand as she wandered further from her family's solar farm. She wasn't supposed to stray this far, but curiosity always got the better of her. After all, there were rumors, stories passed down by locals, of strange lights in the desert, whispers of alien relics lost in the sands. It wasn't long before Juno's keen eyes caught something unusual. A faint glint of metal protruded from a dune. It didn't look like junk from an old Earth shipwreck or rusted machinery from some forgotten era. It shimmered with an otherworldly hue, a deep, iridescent green. Her heart pounded as she approached, brushing away the fine grains to reveal more of the object. It was enormous. The tip of a sleek, angular structure emerged from the sand, half buried. As she cleared more of the surface, strange markings came into view, symbols and patterns that glowed faintly when touched. Her pulse quickened. This was no Earth-made relic. She ran her fingers along the cool metal, feeling warmth pulse beneath her fingertips. Then, as if responding to her touch, a door-sized section of the hull split open, emitting a soft hum. Juno stepped back, her breath caught between excitement and fear. The interior was dark, save for faintly glowing lines tracing along the walls. Against her better judgment, she stepped inside. The ship was vast and eerily quiet, the air stale but breathable. Juno wandered through corridors lined with strange consoles and flickering lights. The symbols she'd seen outside were everywhere, carved into the walls and floating holographically in the air. In the center of what seemed like the main chamber, a massive crystalline orb hovered. As Juno approached, it flared to life, filling the room with soft, blue light. A voice, not in words, but in emotions and images, entered her mind. "You are the first, the chosen." Juno froze. The orb conveyed a torrent of information: the ship's origins, its purpose, and its plight. It belonged to a species called the Taren, explorers who had charted galaxies long before humanity had even taken its first steps on Earth. A malfunction during their mission had left the ship stranded near this desolate planet, its crew succumbing to time and isolation. The ship's AI, the orb, had been waiting for someone, anyone, to reawaken it and continue the mission. "I'm just a kid," Juno muttered, though she wasn't sure if the orb could hear her thoughts. "What could I possibly do?" The orb pulsed, showing her visions of the ship's vast capabilities. It wasn't just a vessel. It was a treasure trove of advanced technology, knowledge that could help humanity leap centuries forward. But the AI wasn't looking for just a pilot. It needed a companion, someone it could guide and learn from, someone with an untainted perspective. Juno felt the weight of the decision pressing down on her. She thought about her family, her small life back home, the ordinary world she'd been born into. But how could she ignore the chance to explore the stars, to carry the legacy of an ancient civilization? "I'll do it," she whispered. The AI hummed in approval, and the ship began to stir. Panels lit up, ancient systems whirred to life, and a low rumble vibrated through the floor. The ship was repairing itself, using the last reserves of energy it had hoarded over millennia. But there was one condition. The AI revealed that it couldn't leave Earth's atmosphere without refueling from a nearby asteroid rich in the elements it needed. It would take days to reach it, time Juno would have to use to learn the ship's systems and prepare herself for the journey ahead. Juno returned home that evening, bursting with excitement. She wanted to tell her parents everything, but she knew they wouldn't understand, or worse, they'd forbid her from going back. Instead, she played along, pretending nothing had happened, all while sneaking supplies and tools she thought she'd need for her upcoming adventure. Each day after school, she returned to the ship, learning its language and technology, her bond with the AI deepening. It taught her about distant worlds, alien biology, and the history of the Taren. In turn, she shared stories of humanity, her dreams, and her fears. The day came when the ship was ready. Juno stood at the helm, staring at the glowing console that would launch them into the unknown. The AI spoke to her one last time, its voice steady yet warm. "You are more than enough," Juno Travers. Together, we will rewrite the stars. With trembling hands, she pressed the activation sequence. The desert around the ship roared as its engines ignited, sand whipping in every direction. As the ship lifted off, Juno felt a surge of exhilaration and terror. She looked down at the receding earth, her heart both heavy and light. She was leaving behind everything she knew, but she was also stepping into a future she couldn't have dreamed of. The alien ship disappeared into the cosmos, a lone child at its helm. For the first time in millennia, it wasn't lost anymore. And neither was Juno.